Welcome everyone. We are going to be doing this every week that we have Modern Workforce Program. This is reflection. We talk about what we've done for the week, and then we just think about it and discuss some of the highlights, the way people participated, and then ask questions so that our audience can know what is happening in the program and how we are doing things. So with that said, I can say it's a pioneer thing. We are going to do it every week. And we uploaded on our YouTube YouTube channel, Facilitator Academy YouTube. Everybody should subscribe if you want to keep following this. And sometimes we post some of the episodes on our Facebook page and Instagram. Okay. I'm open the audience members, and then we are blessed there with a Facilitator learner all the way from Pakistan. So, Mr. Bess, welcome.
Thanks.
And thank you for being in this episode.
Thanks. So, considering you have been at least 3 to 4 months done into the program, so far, what are your impressions about firstly the learners who come into your state? What are your impressions about them, and how is their progress looking at this point in time?
I mean, sometimes that's a very good question. It varies a lot because you have people that 15 years in their career, they have the person that just finished O level, they have people in A levels trying to start their life, they have people that just went to university. So my impression is that people come here to learn a skill, and I can see their desire. Some people, it's not homogeneous, it's very mixed, and it takes me a while to figure them out. It takes me like 2-3 weeks, and as soon as I figure them out, I know exactly how to help them, or work with my team to put them in places where it can accelerate their learning of that particular skill that they're looking for. But overall, I'm impressed. We are in a very beginning part of this program. So to see people to take this, the people who are making decisions now, to me looks like heroes, right? Like these are the kind of people I think they will succeed whether they come here or not, because they are willing to take a chance to learn something new. And that's the kind of character I've seen with the people that have been coming.
So with considering the plethora of persons you have in the class, from 5 high school leavers, working class people, does it not water down or to heighten the expectations for some and reduce the level of expectation for others, considering that you're in a class where you have those mixed mindsets?
That's a very good question. So we started this Monday and we had 4 executives, people who are like bosses in their various careers. And what we've done is that we've created a separate schedule for them, talking about that. But and we're going to meet them on a different schedule. So, and it's not more about the fact that they don't want to be in class, it's more about their schedule. And then, of course, you cannot train those guys. They like to mix with the young people, especially in the exercises. And the information, when you teach a skill is for everyone, but there are definitely different levels of the skill. But the truth is that you cannot teach those different levels of the skill. You coach when somebody has enough experience. So once you learn a skill, as you apply, the experience makes you up. Nobody can bring you up like in class 1, class 2, class 3. That's academia. In skill building, it's your experience that lifts you up. So an 80-year-old guy and a 5-year-old kid can learn the same skill at the same time. How they get up there is more on them. So that's a method. That's a very good question. So I encourage, my sessions have always been people from 40 to 19 years old, and it works. Why? Because we're introducing skills. We are not teaching chemistry, mathematics, something like that. So when you go to the hard disciplines, you have to put people, there's class 1, there's class 7, there's form 5, there's upper sec, not here. Yeah, we need some kind of a basic understanding though, so we're not going to get a 5-year-old here and teach them soft skills. So we do have, I can say the average person here is first degree or A levels. So, but I like the question. We have not been mixing, we've only separated the executives that have been coming to our program because of their work schedule, their commitment. They're always traveling for training and their bosses. So those are the only people we are going to see.
Okay, thank you very much. One more for considering this week we've seen 4 things really: growth mindset, cloud computing, being an effective team member, and today's project management. What were your highlights and lowlights for this week?
Thank you. This is a reflection program. So we started with goal mindset. Goal mindset is what we always start with on the modern workforce. It sets the tone. It sets the tone. I mean, our whole program was built around that goal mindset, where we want to tell people that you can do this thing. You should believe you can do this. So I like the exercises we did that day. I like the fact that we talked about learning zones and performance zones, and we worked on the exercise where you say your trigger, and you can determine whether your trigger is on the fix or good. So that was really my highlight because it's a pioneer program. But again, I was surprised with how effective all the rest of the models this week has been. The team building was amazing. It was amazing. We did charades, we made it so localized, so African. Everything, because charade is a throwing game, but you had to work with your team to get the right answer. And we have even looked at ways we can improve that. And we did some more exercises on building team cohesion. Yesterday we talked about cloud computing. I wish we talked about taking that to the whole of Cameroon, because we break down the IT landscape. We talked about different technology, the spectrum from desktop, web, mobile, cloud. What else was there? Blockchain. So after cloud, blockchain, we went through the whole spectrum. So I like the fact that we are introducing those basic demystifying technology. Because as we demystify technology, we think that my goal is to come to make Africans producers of technology. So when I get to a class like that, I'm really passionate, and even when we get coaches, that's some of the things that we beg the coaches to instill. Not test, we talk a lot in Africa about the application layer. We want to talk about system and infrastructure, where Africans don't dominate. And we talked about how you build a software, after 2 years it cannot work. We diagnosed that in class. So, and then today we talked about project management. I mean, it's clear that our program ends at the CAPM, the certification. We train people to that, and the reason is because PMI needs you to have at least 2 years of experience to do PMP. So we talked about that, we explained this whole concept of a project. We even talked about the applicability of projects when people go on. So this has been a great week, but of course next week I'll still say it's a great week. But I think, maybe we'll bring some students here and let them tell us their experience other than mine. I was doing that. Let me start with you. I mean, all the things, all the models, which one was the highlight for you?
The highlight for me was the one today, because that's where I learned more about myself. Practically because I've been in a setup where working with so many people, you deal with diverse cultures, diverse mindsets and all of that. But sometimes, like I mentioned earlier, you set the bar so high and you require a lot of people that they can't attain. And when things don't work out, you start wondering where things went wrong. That is essentially what this process has helped me understand.
The communication.
The communication.
Okay.
Being able to bring your message down to the level where a child should be able to understand generally.
It's good.
That should be the best way in which you can communicate with your fellow colleagues.
I really thank you for that. I really appreciate that. That was our aim. We thought that the number one skill for a project manager is communication. You want to get a project done, it's 90% communication. Or if we use Pareto's principle, it's 80% communication for projects. That's why we did that exercise. It's that concept of learn by doing. And I'm glad that you reviewed that a lot. You had some of the feedback in class. I wish everybody was here. I said class lab. So I wish everybody was here to share that. And I think next week we'll bring more people, or even today we'll have more just separate session of people telling us about their highlights for the week. So thank you so much. And we'll end now, then we invite people to come give us their feedback.
Always my pleasure.
Thank you, and see you again next time.
Of course.